And after a rather large break here, we are finally getting on with our quarterfinal matchup between the University of California, Santa Cruz, and St. Clair College. We'll be starting things off on Ilios for our very first map. Lots of eager players ready to get into the game. So here we go. Starting things off, we've got the pit right in the middle, which is going to be our capture point for this very first game. Do have Walla onto the Hanzo, Kingdom Heart on Lucio. We've got Moira, we've got Jub on the Reaper. And it looks like St. Clair is going to be the first ones to find the position onto the point. And Jub being right next to the opposing side. Looking pretty good right now, getting a bunch of pot shots. Does manage to take down CMB. His Reaper is out of here. So that's a big flank threat gone for the moment here for St. Clair College. And they are going to be able to capture this point first. Percent taken down in their favor. See if they can clean up this fight or if UCSC is going to be able to retreat properly. They do seem to get away just fine, but St. Clair does move up out of the pit to try and find themselves some safety. But CMB finding Couch in the back line. And it's actually Jub going to answer right back, taking down Spectro. But Jub almost gets stunned out. He's right by their reset. He's going to take down Overcast. He's going to trade it out, and Walla going to get CMB now. So an absolute skirmish here on the point for this very first game. 33 on the, for 33% currently on the board for St. Clair College, and it's still going up. Jesse's Coalescence does manage to find DPS Frog, and then Kingdom Heart going to clean things up alongside Jesse, taking down Chase Pack and Spectro. Currently, the only ultimate on board right now for St. Clair is, of course, that Dragon Strike here from Walla, but we are going to get the sound barrier very shortly for Kingdom Heart as well. Walla does spot out the flanking Reaper, gets a couple pot shots on him, gets him to almost half health, forcing the Wraith Walk, actually. Okay, Walla gets the spot. He's getting the high ground on them, too, and he's trying to pepper down CMB, forcing the Wraith Walk once again, as well as the accretion being used on him, but he does manage to get out of dodge nice and safe. They're clumping pretty hard here on this high ground. Walla going to hang on to it until now. He's going to launch that thing right down the center, splitting the team of UC. And it's going to be the sound barrier coming out from Kingdom Heart, coming out at a good time. That is a Death Blossom coming out from CMB. Does find Jussie, and it also takes down Damage's Bongo. Jub does manage to find two, though, with his own Death Blossom, but Superman answering real quick, but then Couch shutting him down. That was actually overtime. They had the contest there, and that is going to be St. Clair getting the first point here on this control map. Looking strong so far. All right, the first part of game number one looking really good for St. Clair, but we are going to see a switch up from them, actually. We're getting to see the Jub Farah, which is something we do not see too often, but I think there was a Hanzo on the side of the University of California. It's going to try and mess with Jub the best of his ability. While on the low ground with that McCree. And the rest of the squad pulling through. Lots of poking back and forth, but it's actually going to be Walla who finds the first kill. It is going to be contested. It's actually really close for the capture for University of California. Still contested 3-on-3 currently. A nice shot from Superman, appropriately named, as he dives off the capture point to get that kill. Couch is the only one left, I believe. He may have one other with him, but he is going to go down. And it is just Kingdom Heart left, who is going to go down. So this is going to be the University of California getting themselves on the board, start building some percent, winning that first initial fight. Jub just going to try and pick some shots, get himself some charge, but it seems like they're going to switch off. Yeah, they are going to switch it off from Pharah to the Reaper here for Jub. Okay, Walla getting the flank, and he's actually going to take down Superman before this engagement even gets a chance to start. Coalescence coming out from Jussie, going through lots of members of the University of California, but CMB just popping Jub really quickly, actually. Might have switched to that to deal with the Pharah, but it ended up working rather nicely with the Reaper. The Flux going to come down from Chase Pack, going to take down Couch. We have, oh, that's a huge stun, actually, double stun right there for Walla. Going to try and turn this fight around in his favor because it's been rather back and forth as of right now, but it is going to be another fight over to the University of California. Yeah, Jub getting picked off, and then Couch is in a pretty decent overextension. Looks like the coach on the side of St. Clair is calling for a pause, but is anybody going to be able to do so? There we go. So a quick pause here for St. Clair with 66% on the board for University of California. Looks like we did have a microphone failure on the side of St. Clair. Looks like it's going to be a quick one, though. It must have been just an offsetting or something like that. Of course, they had themselves quite the break, so they probably moved around a little bit, or some settings got a little messed up. But we're going to get right back into it. Of course, the University of California looking good to start off this second part of game number 1. Wall was able to find picks, and he's getting some sick stuns, but that is actually a really sick flux right there from Couch. Can St. Clair follow up? They do pop the sound barrier to try to keep themselves strong into this push. Dragon Strike going to cut this fight in half, and it's going to take down Couch. We have the Deadeye coming out from the McCree on the other side. I believe that's CMB with it. A nice little flank there from Jub. Jub does manage to take down Superman, but it's at least 3 down currently for St. Clair. With 95% left on the point, I don't know if anybody's going to be able to contest. Jub going in. He's going to get the contest, and he's going to try and jump onto the Sarisa. But how long can he stall here is the question. He's got to wait for the rest of his squad. That is Damage here with the emergency Wrecking Ball to just try and contest this point for as long as possible. Be a complete nuisance for as much as he possibly can. He's getting bounced around like crazy. Pretty much St. Clair just... or not St. Clair, but the University of California focused everybody except the Wrecking Ball until he was the last one left. And that's going to be 1-1 going into what I believe is the deciding map here for game 1. Okay, so we have either everybody's favorite or most hated part of Ilias, as we are here at the well. Of course, extremely easy to get dragged into the well, get booped into it. Can essentially be a 6th player or a 7th player on your team if you're able to play it correctly. That's actually a pretty good halt there for Damage, getting a lot of damage, and Jussie, or not Jussie, Jub actually going to be able to take down Overcast and barely get away with his life. That is going to be the Doomfist diving in on side of University of California, barely going to get away with his life as Superman does manage to snipe down Walla with a headshot. The Hanzo, of course, just being an absolute nuisance, just trying to click heads in the background. Kingdom Heart trying to keep everybody alive, but he's not exactly the greatest of burst healers, Lucio. Of course, more of a damage over time. Damage barely hanging on to dear life, but getting focused down. Kingdom Heart, though, with a huge boop, taking down 2, but nobody was able to touch after that. So Kingdom Heart's going to go down. We have 5% currently on the point, and that's a good flank there for Walla. Doomfist just dove right past him. Going to get the kill. Now, even though they've tried to get the reset, there's still a bit of staggering going on here for the side of St. Clair. a little bit messy trying to get back into this battle. Few members of the University of California trying to play the high ground, whether you're flying around or jumping around or doing whatever. And Jussie going to take down CMB really quickly. Jub does find the Hanzo, but pressured him enough. Couch did get put down into the hole. That's going to be a Dragon Strike coming right into that corridor, and that's going to be absolutely devastating for the University of California. Between that and the Coalescence, everybody goes down on St. Clair. Jussie gets picked off actually before this battle even begins, unfortunately for St. Clair. We do have a Death Blossom almost ready here for Jub. Is he going to pop it right away? Looks like he's going to hang on to it, though. He's going to fire it right as he gets a boulder chucked at him. That did not work in the slightest. So, University of California is sitting pretty to finish this first game, if it's a best of 3. Otherwise, continue to take this lead. Okay, that's going to be the Flux from the Sigma, and it's going to take down pretty much everybody, putting them all in position. And I don't know how St. Clair is going to touch this. They have 95 on the point. Jub's the only one alive, and it's going to go down. It's probably going to still peak the overtime, but can somebody get there in time? They are not. That is going to be game number 1 going over to the University of California.